All right, today we're going to talk about one of the simplest but honestly most powerful things you can do for your garden, and that's mulching. It's a total game changer. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been for a walk in the woods and really looked down at the ground? You see leaves, twigs, all sorts of stuff, but what don't you see? You almost never, ever see bare soil. And there's a really good reason for that. Nature's trying to tell us something. And this quote, it just nails it. Nature knows that naked soil is unhappy soil. That exposed dirt is actually a sign that something's not quite right in the ecosystem.
Which brings us to what I like to call the bare soil mistake. See, so many of us think a clean garden with all the dirt neatly raked is a healthy garden, but it turns out that's creating a constant uphill battle for us.
Here's why that is. When you leave your soil bare, 3 bad things happen right away. First, the sun just bakes it into this hard, lifeless crust. Second, any water you put on it, poof, it evaporates in a flash. And third, you've basically just rolled out the welcome mat for every weed seed flying by. So what's the answer? Well, it's so beautifully simple. Mulch. And what is mulch? It's really just any layer of material that you put on top of the soil. The best way to think of it is just like a cozy protective blanket for your garden. And this simple little blanket, well, it has what you can only really describe as superpowers. Seriously. We're going to break down the 3 incredible ways mulch just completely transforms your garden, and it happens almost instantly. So let's get into these 3 game changers. We've got the water saver, the weed blocker, and maybe the most amazing one of all, the soil feeder. Okay, superpower number 1, the water saver. I want you to picture the sun as a giant hairdryer just blasting your garden all day, sucking all the moisture out before your plants can even get a drink. Well, mulch physically gets in the way. It blocks that heat and keeps the soil underneath cool and moist. And the results of this they're just staggering. We're not talking about a small improvement here. By adding that layer of mulch, you can cut your watering by 50%, sometimes even more. That's half the work, half the water, just from covering up the soil.
Moving on to superpower number 2, the weed blocker. Your soil is literally full of countless little weed seeds, and they're all just sitting there, waiting for one thing, a flash of sunlight. That's their signal to sprout. Mulch simply turns out the lights. No sun, no weeds. It's that easy.
And superpower number 3, this is the one that pays off big time in the long run. It's the soil feeder. See, when you use organic stuff for mulch, we're talking straw, leaves, that kind of thing, it slowly breaks down. All the earthworms and microbes come up for a feast, and in the process, they create the most amazing, free, slow-release fertilizer for your plants. Okay, so you're probably convinced by now. But the big question is, what do you actually use for mulch? Let's do a quick run through of the best options so you can pick the right one for your garden. All right, as you can see, straw is pretty much the gold standard, especially for vegetable gardens. Shredded leaves? Fantastic, and even better, they're free. Great for just about everything. Wood chips and bark are perfect for paths or around bigger things like trees because they last a really long time. And grass clippings? They give you a nice nitrogen kick, but you do have to be a little careful with them. Now, listen up, because this is probably the most important tip I can give you. Do not, I repeat, do not mix up straw and hay. Straw is yellow, it's just the hollow stalks of grain. It's perfect. Hay, on the other hand, is full of grass seeds. If you put hay in your garden, you are literally planting a weed farm. So always go with straw. Okay, you've got your mulch, you're ready to go. Now for the last and, honestly, the most critical part, how to actually put it down. There is one simple rule you have to follow, and it's called the donut rule. Look at this. On the left, you've got the deadly volcano. That's when you pile mulch right up against the plant's stem. That traps moisture, and it's an open invitation for rot and disease. No good. On the right, that's the perfect donut. You see that little gap? That little circle of bare soil right around the stem? That is the secret to success. And it's so easy to do. It's just 3 steps. 1, spread a nice, even layer about 2 or 3 inches thick. 2, pull it away from the base of your plants. And 3, make sure you have that little 1 to 2 inch safety circle. That's it. You've made the perfect donut. So let's just bring this all home. Mulching isn't just one more thing to do on your garden checklist. It's probably the single easiest, most impactful upgrade you can possibly make. So here's your mission. Just remember these 3 things. Mulch saves water, it stops weeds, and it feeds your soil. You're not fighting against nature anymore. You're finally working with it. So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's time to resist that urge for a perfectly clean, raked garden. Seriously, put the rake away, give your soil that blanket it's been craving, and just watch your garden thrive. It's amazing what a difference it makes.